stop the fan, two things gonna happen. If they stop the fan, two things gonna happen. The bitch turn to a jackal. She gotta keep down, keep the hair flowing.
Y'all big demon ass over there. Are you serious? Y'all got levitate dance hoes telling y'all to buy all that. Y'all are the buyers, they're the sellers. Y'all go poorer, they go richer.
Wicked demonic. Her demonic whole family into this wicked. Yeah, take her. Do use your own. You writing songs right.
And supports breastfeeding. Your
Beyonce
fed her own baby.
Wicked.
Help you and at home.
Oh, she makes me sick.
So Tokyo Toni is once again making it crystal clear that she's not and never will be part of the Beehive because allegedly she believes both Beyonce and Jay Z are demonic, and Jay might be keeping Beyonce hooked on all types of substances to control her. And as crazy as this sounds, Tokyo is not the first one to allege Beyonce is using something. Jaguar Wright also previously claimed that Beyonce is like a prisoner in a golden cage and that her fans need to start their own version of the Free Britney movement to get her away from her husband.
And the more he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a character.
No, girl. Not my beautiful Beyonce 5.
I tell you this right now. Y'all talking about Free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say Free Beyonce.
But is there any proof of these disturbing allegations? And what else did Tokyo Toni spill about Beyonce and Jay Z? Let's get into it.
From early age, what she got on some white zooty shit, looking like they snorted cooter shit. I was like, what the is going on? Y'all that are songs rocking all day long with some them on.
For years now, there's been a whole lot of talk in the streets about Jay Z supposedly keeping Beyonce under some heavy influence to have her dancing to his tune. And several insiders in the industry have been publicly speaking up about it, with the latest voice to join the chorus being none other than Miss Tokyo Toni, Blac Chyna's mom. See, ever since Jay Z owned up to his past infidelity and came clean about cheating on Beyonce a few years back, folks have been side-eyeing Queen Bey, saying she's moving real peculiar, like she's not calling the shots herself. The gossip about Jay's wandering eye has been buzzing since the early 2000s, connecting him to names like Rihanna, Rita Ora, and even Rachel Roy, the ex-wife of his former business partner Dame Dash. But things hit a fever pitch around May 2014 when that jaw-dropping footage leaked showing Solange, Beyonce's sister, going off on Jay Z in an elevator at the Met Gala, while Beyonce just stood there looking like she was caught up in some kind of trance. The Carters never explained exactly what happened in that elevator. They just released a PR statement saying this was an unfortunate incident and claiming the family has worked through it. But before the dust even settled on that elevator drama, Beyonce had folks raising eyebrows again. This time, it went down at a Brooklyn Nets game, and the streets were buzzing with speculation about Bey maybe getting a little too cozy with some substances. According to the Daily Mail, Beyonce was acting strange the whole game, swaying back and forth with no music playing, a nothing. And get this, Jay Z was right there beside her, looking all awkward, squinting at the HD screen like he was trying to decode a secret message or something. The scene had everyone wondering what's really going on with the power couple, stirring up more talk in the grapevine about what might be happening behind the scenes. Anyway, by this point, Beyonce had already started working on her Lemonade album, where she spilled the tea on all the emotions she went through after finding out Jay Z did her dirty, and stepped out on her with some Becky with the good hair. The climax of Lemonade is all about Beyonce forgiving Jay and embracing their power couple vibe. And Jay later went on CNN to talk about how they decided to go all in for their love. According to Sean Carter, they wanted to break those old chains of generational trauma and stay together for the sake of their kids.
And, you know, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For Black men and women, to see a different outcome.
That's a level of strength really on both sides. I mean, if the shoe had been on the other foot, if the transgressions had been on her side, do you think you would be able to be as forgiving of her as she was of you?
I hope. again, because I love her the same way. No matter what side, I love her the same way. I pray that I will, because her strength and her, man, is the strongest woman I know. Like,
but see, Beyonce's fans weren't feeling this talk at all, pointing out that if the tables were turned and Beyonce was the one caught up in some public cheating scandal, we all know for a fact that Jay would not be playing that forgive and forget game. Even if Jay did decide to stick around in this hypothetical scenario, you and I both know that nobody would praise him for being strong or whatever. They'd be clowning him left and right, calling him a simp and whatnot. Anywho, ever since Jay was exposed for cheating, Beyonce's fans have been talking and analyzing B's behavior, because it really seems like she's lost that light in her eyes, and these days, even when she interacts with her fans, she seems so dazed and far away. We all know Beyonce doesn't give interviews anymore, and the usual excuse for this is that she's just very private and too big of a star to do regular celebrity things. But the Beehive is saying Beyonce used to be much more playful and carefree before the cheating scandal broke. And they're also throwing around some theories saying maybe Beyonce can't just up and leave Jay Z because she's been ride or die with him since her teenage days. And despite her independent woman vibe she pushed in her songs, Beyonce has never been single her whole adult life. You see, Beyonce herself mentioned she was 18 when she first crossed paths with Jay. But here's a twist. Word on the street is that Jay has a history of getting into things with much younger ladies. Some insiders have claimed that Beyonce might have been just 16 when she first linked up with 28-year-old Jay. And that's when he supposedly started scheming to get closer to her. Jay himself said in his 2007 interview with Charlie Rose that he had known Beyonce for at least 10 years. So in 1997, Beyonce was either 15 or 16, depending on the month they met.
wow, a long time.
How long? 10 years?
However long she's been recording. That's when I met her.
Well, don't you remember how long it was?
Yeah, when I met her. I mean,
was it 5 years ago? Was it?
I met her 10 years ago.
But did you say to yourself at that time, wow?
That's a fantastic talent.
Was that what you said?
Yeah.
And then there's also Jay's sketchy history with Foxy Brown and his close relationship with R. Kelly. According to Dame Dash, Jay knew all about the disgusting, illegal things R. Kelly had done to Aaliyah. But he didn't care. In fact, the same year Aaliyah died, Jay and R. Kelly released a joint album, Best of Both Worlds.
But I've been tight about years. So to be honest, like, if you remember the Best of Both Worlds, you don't see my name on that. You know what I mean? And
your name is not on either album.
Hell no, I never wanted no parts of that. So when Holmes was doing that, I was like, bro, you know our homie violated, and he violated my girl.
And according to Jaguar Wright, Jay Z's PR team allegedly worked overtime to bury all traces of Jay's friendship with Kelly. And that's why you never hear folks bring up Best of Both Worlds anymore.
Saw Jay Z. And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together. You know, they made all of those records together. They both, they shared so much in common. Whoever talks about Best of the Both Worlds, Best of Both Worlds, nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this shit.
Nobody talks about that project.
That's smooth under the rug.
Why?
But that's not all Jaguar spilled about Jay's shady side. She also claimed that Jay is keeping Beyonce hooked on something, and she called him a monster with no conscience.
Jay Z. Why has Jay Z been coming up with you lately?
Because he's a monster. I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in the cat.
No, girl. Not my beautiful Beyonce 5.
I tell you this right now. Y'all talking about free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce.
Jaguar even urged the Beehive to start a free Beyonce movement, claiming that Beyonce is literally a prisoner in her own life. And now Tokyo Toni is taking it a step further. And besides adding more fuel to these rumors about Jay allegedly supplying Beyonce with substances, she's also out here throwing that demonic label around and saying, y'all need holy water if you went to one of Beyonce's concerts.
Stop the fan. Two things gonna happen. The turn to a jackal. She gotta keep the demon down. Keep the hair flowing.
Tokyo recently dropped a hilarious freestyle diss of Beyonce. And while you can't help but laugh at Tokyo's delivery, a lot of folks are saying she's speaking facts. And in another video, Tokyo said Beyonce is like an artificial plant, and she meant that literally.
How do you feel knowing you are the person who you are today? This is not a condemning, this is a fact. You are like an artificial plant, literally and figuratively.
Now, is this proof that Beyonce is actually using something to keep her in that plant-like state and that her husband is the main supplier? Well, obviously not. I mean, it's all pure speculation and rumors at this point. But for some reason, these rumors simply refuse to go away. And people are now starting to talk about it's not even that far-fetched of an idea that Jay got B hooked on something. Someone said, didn't y'all notice how Beyonce says she owes her life to Jay Z and how she can never repay him? Why is that? What did he do that made this woman feel like she owes him her life? And another person wrote, people really surprised about the part? It's Beyonce. She's the biggest star out, and she is married to a controlling man. I'm sure she's on something to keep her sanity. Let's not deny her eyes that peek into the soul. One day she'll have a tell-all, and I'll be front and center to watch. But let me know how y'all feel about all this tea Tokyo Toni and Jaguar Wright spilled about Jay and B. Do you think there's any truth to these rumors about Jay controlling Beyonce with substances? Drop your comments down below, and then check out this next story.